Marc Webb presenta en París The Amazing Spider-Man 2, El poder de Electro. Nos hemos acercado al Hotel Four Seasons para hablar con el director de la nueva película protagonizada por Andrew Garfield, que cuenta con incorporaciones como las de Jamie Foxx o Dane DeHaan.
I think one of the cool things about villains is, on a sort of subtextual level, villains help reveal different parts of the hero and different parts of the protagonist, and that was something that you want to really push Peter Parker in as many directions as possible. You want to push Spider-Man and pull him in as many directions as possible, making his life as complicated as it could possibly be. So Electro kind of pulls out something. You need a little bit of strategy, cleverness, and physical stamina to defeat Electro, to confront Electro, and it's harrowing, and it's very difficult because Electro is a godlike creature, and he's got this really interesting agenda. He wants to be seen, and there's something about Peter that kind of feels for him. And in terms of the Goblin is confronting Peter because he's, also his best friend. And that complicates things for Peter in a way. He's a pretty uncynical guy, and he believes the best in people. He always, like his parents, he always thinks that people are trying to do something for the right reason. And in this movie, Peter Parker is going to have to confront the face of evil in a way that he hasn't before. It's going to transform him. I love, if you look at the credits scene in the movie, not the post credits. We didn't have a post credit scenes, but in the end credits, I wanted to sort of tease out some of my favorite characters that might creep up in the future. Yeah, that's tricky. Mary Jane Watson is, of course, another iconic person in the comic books. But the Gwen Stacy saga really was what was most appealing to me. I remember the Gwen Stacy storyline. Having read it, I sort of discovered, obviously, after it had been written. But it changed all of comic books, and I really wanted to embrace that and see that through. And that's what we've been focusing on this movie. As far as what's to come, I mean, we don't know. We'll see. I don't know exactly what's going to come after Spider-Man. I mean, it's been such a big part of my life, and probably wouldn't mind sitting down and hanging out with my family a little bit and spending some time on a beach somewhere. But beyond that, we'll see. I think what's cool about Spider-Man is that, there's 50 years of comics. And there's so many storylines, but in particular, there's so many characters, so many interesting villains and gray areas between Spider-Man, Venom, for example, and Carnage, and all that, I think, affords us an opportunity to explore the dramatic possibilities in a way that I think is going to be really fun for the audience and clever and new. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like doing a movie about villains, I think is a challenge. I think people are like, well, how does that work? And Drew Goddard, I think, I think will do the Sinister Six movie. He's a real brilliant mind, and we have some great people at work trying to bring that. Super fanboys who are sitting around a table, it's fun. It's a fun group of people. Mm-hmm.